Good, very late evening, people, and welcome to the Vital Football Podcast. This is your podcast from the Writers of the Vital Network with a very happy Liam who writes for Everton. So he's on suicide watch tonight, lads, so we have to go canny with him. We've got Crippy who writes for Man City and myself, Ash, who write for Newcastle. And let's not beat around the bush.
No, go to me last.
Go to you last. Shall we start off?
Please.
Shall we start off with our score predictions from last week?
Yes. No,
because there's a nice one in there for you. There's a good one in there for you. Look, see, you joined top, Liam, for the week, 7 points. Nobody got you. Getting demolished off Man City, everyone had that, but there you are. You got a 1-1 draw with Man City. I don't see what you're so upset about, to be honest.
You've done very well.
Yes, and then obviously tonight was a bit of a different story. But, we'll ignore that thing on the right hand side there with the actual result, shall we?
Oh boy.
I mean, we could spend more time going over that, but Liam, I know you want to get some things off your chest, my friend. So.
I don't know what to get off my chest. That's the thing. I don't know what to get off my chest. What? Ask me a question and I'll give my answer.
All right, Andy's in the chat. All right, Andy. I don't know what to ask you because what I really wanted to do was get that clip that you sent to our Facebook chat.
Of the fourth goal.
It wasn't even the fourth goal. I think it was the second one. I can't be asked. I can't be asked for this anymore. I wanted to clip that and put it on because it was just brilliant. And that was at 2-0, I think. No, it'd been at 1-0.
No, that was at 1-0, I think. No.
The towel was
thrown. No, it was still at 1-0. It was still at 1-0. It was still at 1-0, yeah.
So
and then the second goal went in, but it's just we can't just lose a football game normally. We just have to just combust and just have the freedom of Goodison Park. Why don't you? Just, you know what? Just do whatever you want. Yeah, literally. Like the fourth goal. I don't know if you've seen it yet, Crippy. I've just put it in. We've just conceded our third, so we win a free kick. Dangerous position-ish.
No, Andy's that many goals conceded. Liam's in a haze. He's not himself, bless him. He's not himself.
So we had a free kick in a decent position. McNeil's putting the ball over everybody. Ball's gone back to Demarai Gray, and he's decided to try and pass it back to Pickford, who was nowhere near him, and he's just passed it to Pascal Royce, and Andy made an even worse joke about it.
So that's a bad back pass. That's one of the worst back passes I've ever seen.
I'm not going to make the same mistake I made last week of trying to show it on here because just get copyright strikes straight away.
I feel that shot could have been blocked as well. When he chips over the goalkeeper, it's sort of going slow enough. You think that
could have cleared it.
Felt like it.
It's literally like Michaelenko. That's the thing. We can't. It has
to be embarrassing. It can't be. It just can't be normal goals. There's always a calamity at the back.
The big question is: were Brighton good or were Everton shit? Or was it like a perfect storm of both?
6 minutes, that's it. 6 minutes to just change the football game. And the thing is, it reminds me of Moyes' last season. We had Wigan in the FA Cup quarter-final. I thought, walk in the park this. Wigan, bottom of the league, going to get relegated. And that guy that gave pass, Phil Neville did the exact same thing to Callum McManaman, and then he scored, and then they scored again, and then they scored again. They scored 3 goals in like 5 minutes, and then that was a tie done.
Yeah, and they've done it again tonight.
But that's what I mean. We can't just lose a game normal. Like we just have to just capitulate. It's just
what would annoy me if I were an Everton fan is the fact that you managed to get a point against Man City at the weekend.
Yeah.
And then you go and do this like 3 days later or whatever.
So we started off all right. We came out the blocks flying, and penalties. I've seen penalties given for what happens, but we don't get it. So the ball gets played in, and Tom Davis, I think he like flicks it on, and Lewis dunk. He jumps up, but the arm's behind him, so it hits his back of his arm. So he can't necessarily see it, but if it doesn't hit his arm, Calvert-Lewin's got a free shot at goal.
Yeah. And he's got your back there. So Leeds have those 9 minutes 10 times a match.
Yeah, but you don't concede 3 goals in those 9 minutes, do you? That's the thing.
I mean, Leeds were pretty resolute at the weekend against us.
But again, it's the same with us.
Shame Andy's not on tonight for that.
Yeah, like how can we go to Man City, who everyone thought were going to get absolutely rolled over, easy, and I don't know why we changed our formation, because we've just got a point away at City. He's dropped Godfrey for McNeil, essentially, and he's put Tom Davis in for Onana, who was suspended, who was a massive miss. But it's just no words, man. Honestly.
I do need to ask you about Dwight McNeil, because you called me out in the chat.
Yes, I did. There's no such thing as a bad player. All right, please just watch Dwight McNeil for 1 game. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Oh man!
I said, like, if he was the answer, what was the question? Like, honestly, like, our number 7 last season was Richarlison. Our number 7 this season is Dwight McNeil, and he can't.
It's a bit of a step down, isn't it?
He's not even good enough, like, to give him his bib. Never mind, lace his boots. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a joke.
In McNeil's defence, I don't know a time where he was ever that good. I don't think he was ever that great. Was he? Even was it Burnley before? He wasn't incredible at Burnley. He was just a better player than the ones around him, which isn't saying a lot for Burnley, is it?
So much rubbish, honestly.
Just to make sure he wouldn't reply to my text. I can imagine what those texts were, to be fair. I probably wouldn't reply to you either.
So, can I just double check the date today?
20 million. Bloody hell.
What is it? The 3rd of the 1st? 3-1, right? Yeah, last night's game, 3-1. Right.
Did you seriously pay 20 million for Dwight McNeil?
I thought it was a freebie.
No, it went free. We paid something for him.
Oh God!
I mean, even if it was 20 quid, you've been robbed by the sounds of it.
So I think it was supposed to be like, I'm not even helping myself out here. I think we paid like 10, 12 million, and the rest was in instalments.
I can check.
His instalment said he's not playing back on the pitch by any means.
Yeah, well, if it's the instalments like Dele Alli deal, then they'll never get that money.
BBC reported 20 mil, but as you say, it's probably half up front, half instalments kind of thing. So the whole package will cost you close to 20 mil, which is quite a lot.
Very, very much, considering the ire that has been directed towards him.
But his record wasn't great. Chat. It's similar to Chris Wood thing, isn't it? Where he's not going to put up trees because he never has done, but yet, you know, that's strange.
I maintain to this day that Chris Wood was a tactical move to deprive Burnley of a striker when they were our direct competition for going down. Yeah. Just obviously now we're stuck with him because he was 25 million quid.
Yeah.
And he came on tonight for the last 10 minutes. And you say about him not pulling up trees, he wouldn't want to hurt his fellow beings because he's got about as much movement in him as a fucking orc. He's horrendous. Paid £19 million because he's left-footed, £1 million for his talent.
Yes, was. Yeah.
So I think that £1 million's being very generous. Like, the thing is, left-footed players are weird as well because sometimes they're just like the worldies, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? We had this. I think one of the first things was left-footers always do the same things, are always class. Well, every time he gets the ball, he can only use his left foot, so he slows down the play, and then we know where he's going. He's going on his left foot. And he doesn't. Yeah.
Have a cup of tea, Liam. Put some Valium in or something like that. Let's look back then. We'll have a proper look at our predictions because there were some interesting scores at the weekend. As you can tell by all but red. Leeds Man City didn't throw up any surprises. West Ham and Brentford was. We all thought apart from Liam who called it, we all thought we were going with draws there. Liverpool did manage to overcome Leicester and then crumbled later on against Brentford, which was just hilarious. There's no other way to describe it. The only one correct score we got was Cribby with his Fulham and Southampton prediction. Not bad, mate. Not
Me
bad
being
at all.
boring actually paid off.
Yeah, the conservative approach.
Yeah.
Brighton and Arsenal. Yeah, I think everyone got there or thereabouts. But then it was Tottenham, Villa, and Forest, Chelsea that coupon busters them. And then tonight, I'm still in shock that we managed to draw 0-0 with Arsenal. I think that's brilliant.
Real deal. Newcastle are the real deal.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I signed off my match report with. It was a big test tonight, and I think it's answered the question: do we deserve to be in the top three? And yeah, absolutely.
Yes, you are top three this season. You are one of the best teams in the Premier League, no doubt at all.
Without a shadow. Everton, Brighton, yeah, we've gone into that one a little bit. Man United, Bournemouth. Man United now on equal points with Newcastle. It's only goal difference keeping them in fourth.
You know, when Leicester had that mad run in 2016, and you're sort of looking at the results and you're sort of going, well, you know, yeah, they might beat that team outside the top six because whatever. But then they start getting results against the top six, and they're like, when do we have to start saying, okay, they're officially now challenging? You know, it's like with Newcastle.
It was almost, with that Leicester one, it was almost like up until it became mathematically gone, where they actually won the league. Yeah, everyone was like, "When's the wheel falling off?"
Exactly. That's what I was waiting for as well.
It feels like Newcastle this season.
Yeah. Like I said, the Arsenal to get a point at the Emirates, Arsenal, the best team in the league this season so far. What more can you say? Newcastle got to be back now.
We don't do the Emirates. What was the stat before the game? 11 games we've been there and not won. We just don't win down there. So I wasn't expecting to win, but Arsenal also haven't not scored this season.
Yeah. And at home they've won every game, haven't they? Before now.
Yeah. So it was massive for us, especially coming off the back of whatever that shit show was at the weekend against Leeds.
Yeah.
Which really saw the Newcastle fan base go into meltdown. It was pathetic, really. And I even got it on here as a thing to talk about the Newcastle entitlement.
Yeah. Like it's always been this good.
Yeah, as if, because we're up there now, we're expected to win every game. At the end of the day, we're going to get beat at some point. And what's that going to look like now?
Yeah.
I mean, it was Leeds and they're not exactly in the best position, but they're still a Premier League team and we dominated the ball. We just didn't have anyone to put the ball in the back of the net. I mean, Longstaff put 2 shots that are still going up. I think he was wearing Crocs. But at the end of the day, we're gonna drop points. Every team does. Yeah. And every team around us did. So
you become a victim of your own success, don't you, in a way, because you're there now, literally 1 point off second place. It is where, if you don't win every game now, fans are like saying, "Oh, this is rubbish today. You're not fit. We shouldn't." And then them thinking about next season, is how good enough to manage us if we're, in Europe and whatnot.
Leeds this is 1918. But I believe I never heard it myself, but there was a couple of people on Twitter said there was a pocket of fans booed them off the pitch.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
It's a draw. They did it against Bournemouth when we drew with Bournemouth. They booed them off then. It's like the level of entitlement needs to. They need to take stock. Basically, look back a year ago. It was last year we were fighting for our lives. Just have a word with yourselves.
Doesn't beat West Ham there, booing the fans booing off the team after they won. Do you remember that with Allardyce? They booed them off, and Allardyce was like doing that, wasn't
he? That's classical.
Yeah.
What you call him? Jamal Lascelles did it again tonight. Second yellow card this season without even coming on the pitch.
just arguing the line now.
Stopping the opposition from taking a throw in the last minute.
Okay.
I love it. That's just brilliant shithousery, that. I love it. There was a lot of
thing I saw from your game on the weekend was I don't know who was trying to take a throw in for you, and Tyler Adams just booted the ball away. Made me laugh.
There was a lot of
he booted the ball at the other one and it just went ping.
Leeds literally came to Newcastle to not lose.
Yeah,
just 11 men behind the ball, kick the shit out of us, shit house around.
Did Jesse Marsh look at his watch at all or anything, or did he not do it this time? But it's only when it suits his agenda?
It's only when it suits him, yeah.
Right. That's fine.
Honestly, they just shithoused away to that draw, and I had nothing against it, to be honest. And that's what they had to do. They did it well. They got under our skin. Bruno lost the plot. Callum Wilson lost the plot. They did exactly what they needed to do, and we did it to Liverpool, and it backfired. We did it tonight, and it almost backfired because Arsenal almost got a penalty in the 95th minute. It would have been harsh, but it was there. And so what was this? Screamed at the TV when he did that. What a tit! Oh, is he an Arsenal fan?
No, Muzz is he used to be United fan when he was younger, but he kind of likes all the clubs. He wouldn't say he supports anyone.
He's a football fan.
Yeah.
Arteta's a madman. I love it. Eddie Howe was about to chin him.
He actually got bored of United when they were good, so I can't even say he's a Glory supporter.
It's just what we do. And to be fair, Andy, though you do it well. Fresh trim. I was copying your style, Jack. Mine's voluntary, though.
I went bald today as well. I shaved off the old, hadn't had much shaving in the last week or so.
Spinfoyers want to be able to beat good boys now. We've had a bit of shithouse mentality, but that's what Leeds are famous for, aren't they? Like, you think of Leeds, you think of shithouses just booting people about.
Dirty
Leeds.
Yeah, in the 70s, 80s, yeah.
I don't see any reason why they can't go back to that.
And the Bowyer era.
Well, back then.
They were great. So they were great in the early 2000s, wasn't it? They were fantastic.
Yeah. I think they should go back to it. Clearly not a football inside, so they might as well boot the fuck out of people instead. Sorry, Andy. Sorry. Didn't mean it, mate. I love you, baby. So I had this, obviously, like I do prep before we come on here, which is remarkable. You wouldn't think it the way that the show goes. But I have to do these like little banner cards and stuff. And I had one set up that doesn't make sense now.
Go on. Lampard saved.
Yeah.
I thought that draw against Man City probably saved his job, but I think tonight he's back on the chopping block, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's got to be.
It's interesting. So when the goals went in, usually the players or the fans turn to the fans turn to the manager, but it was straight away. It was sack the board.
Oh, they've gone over his head.
Yeah. Bad it's got.
I mean, I'm all for it. So they was doing a protest as well before and after the game, but it was standing one. So I mean, I can try and show you on my phone. It's not the best because it's going to be back to front like, but not going to work, is it? Yeah. So outside Goodison now. Sack the board. Yeah. Wow. No status, no optimum. Ken Wright and Co. got to go. And all that. Well, that's what I mean. On our badge it says nil status, nil optimum, which is nothing but the best. Well, what was that on the pitch that we've just watched?
Dwight McNeil, nothing but the best. Excuse me. I also have in the title, though, because obviously you had that draw, and Demarai Gray, that goal must have made you feel good a little bit, surely. Yeah,
well, it's annoying because, like I think I said at the time, so one of my mates, Jake, is a City fan, so he's a season ticket holder, so he was sending me messages as they were going in, and I think I put it in, I screenshotted it when he said the best goal I've ever seen. I was like, yeah, all right then, sure. So obviously when I've seen that it's coming, so I'm like, let's see what this is like. So it's kind of like took the excitement out of it, but still, what a hit.
It was absolutely stunning. Like, did he trip, or do you think he meant that little?
No, he slipped.
Stumble?
He slipped.
Yeah.
So he slipped, and he said that that's helped him because it's made him focus, like snap on, like all right, I've got to focus.
And Akanji just was sold completely, wasn't he? It was pretty bad defending.
He had him on the toast.
Finish.
And of course, there was the other aspect that is in the title, and apparently Haaland, you can't send him off.
That was a bad challenge.
Not allowed to send Haaland off because he's got the shield of the FA and Sky Sports. So.
Yeah. And not just Haaland, but Kevin De Bruyne as well.
Yeah, I mean that I didn't see the De Bruyne one, but that Haaland one was shocking.
Yeah.
So it wasn't his only offence of the game. I mean, it's a clear yellow if nothing else. But
so
he said he was.
There's been a bit of thing about that, like it was only yellow, but when you look at the context of it all, so you see in the clip of him going with Godfrey, literally 5 seconds later, he then full sprint at Mikulenko, jumps in 4 yards away and puts in that tackle. He'd lost his head.
Yeah.
He was seething.
Yeah.
And that's where the referee, if he's given a red card, VAR, I don't think overturn it.
No,
it's not. It wouldn't be a clear and obvious error, not for that challenge.
Andy's putting the boot in on Lampard. Like, he wanted those players. Could have Mike Ashley. Well, yeah, you could have Mike Ashley. That's always the worry when you try and replace the board. But Lampard wanted those players, but he inherited a lot of shit as well. So
and the thing is, it's not always that he wanted the players he got. Those will be on a list. You have the top 5 you want, and then you have to just go down the list when you can't get that person. So, like I said, there's no way Dwight McNeil was the fucking first choice player Everton had on their list, was it? He's bottom of the rung, wasn't he?
Number one choice.
Yeah.
No. Well, we lost our best player, Richarlison.
Yeah.
And replaced him with Dwight McNeil and Neil Maupay.
Yeah.
They weren't priority signings.
Certainly not apples with apples. Did Sims get any minutes for Everton tonight?
He got 10 minutes.
Is this good or bad? I'm not sure what he's trying to get at here.
Because I was kicking off saying if we've recalled him, because we recalled him from Sunderland.
That's it, yeah.
Right. Yeah, okay.
So we cut his loan short and we've called him back, and I said, right, well, if we're doing that, we need to give him minutes and not just 8-minute cameos.
And he got 10. So there you go, mate.
Yeah, got all-ish.
I'll be honest with you, it doesn't bode well for how much spending Everton are going to do in January.
Well, this is
bringing back players and using them.
I said to Jack, I said the exact same to Jack. I said, so there's 2 things wrong with this. I was like, does that mean we have no money to spend? Yeah. But at the same time, it gives a little bit of confidence to Sims and like, you know what, they see something, I might have the chance. But
I hate to be pessimistic, because you're an Everton fan, you're a diehard Everton fan, but this really does mirror what Villa went through, how we blooded through a lot of youngsters in our final season, because it was kind of like, well, we don't feel we have enough here to stay up, and we're kind of just going to transition slowly. And Everton can still stay up, of course, but it looks like if they're not going to spend a lot in January, and if they stick with Lampard, it's kind of almost like them saying we're going to see, like we're almost thinking about next season in a way, because players like Ellis Sims should thrive in the Championship. If he gets a few, say like he gets a dozen games for Everton this season, the next season he'll be absolutely fired up to play if Everton went down. So that kind of thing feels like they're planning ahead, because there's no way he's been recalled to just bang in goals at Premier League level, has it? It's a big ask.
So for me, I think the reason he's been recalled is because we can't rely on Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
No.
That's a fact. And Ellis Sims is more of a replacement to Calvert-Lewin in terms of his stature. Like, he's a target, he's a presence in the box. He's more of that than Maupay is.
Yeah.
And yeah, he might not be the best player in the world, far from it. But who was Marcus Rashford before he got a chance?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? All it takes is for the ball to hit his arse and go in 3 games in a row. And that's it, it's confidence.
Because we had that with Keenan Davis. He was a young player who wasn't high quality, not really good enough for the Premier League, but because he could actually hold the ball up, he was very useful, because it meant we could play up to him and play off him. And we just kept his role very simple on the pitch. But I hope Everton can get themselves out of the mire.
We see Andy's question there.
I do. Well, before I go on to that, but if we have that mentality of we're preparing for next season, then what's the point in playing the next 19?
No, I agree. That's what I know with Villa. We gave up. We got rid of our manager and just had our coach take charge. And that was there was months to go in the season. They'd just completely given up. It was infuriating to see that. Yeah, completely throw the towel in. Our owner was like, I'm not spending any more money. I spent too much money. I'm pulling out. I want to sell the club. So bit by bit, every level of the club had given up, from the board down to the squad. No one was putting in the effort, and that's why we went down so easily.
Because the thing is, we've still got 4 teams below us.
Yeah.
Not even in the bottom 3 yet.
No.
Got 4 teams below us. And to answer Andy's question, I think his subs tonight gave a message to Mashiri or whoever is in charge of the club, I don't know. So we conceded the third goal, and he's brought on Decore. Okay, we know who Decore is, and Isaac Price, who's a kid.
My question was going to be, do they have any money to give him in Jan?
Well, if we're going off of FFP, we've passed
that was going to be
last year, because it's a new year now. If we're going for the 3-year thing, he's a prick, isn't he?
It's a good question, though.
That's a good question. But the thing is, like, who? So Anthony Gordon's ill tonight, as he was on the weekend. If someone offers 20 mil, 30 mil, 40 mil, snap it off, get him gone. Like, he thinks he's better than he is, as already. I said this the other week, but we don't have time to start pissing around with players who think that they're this and that. If they think that the bee's knees and they're too good for the club, get them gone. Because that's the reason that we're in this mess.
Would you offload him in January?
100%.
Yeah.
Will there be offers there? Is he a game changer for another Premier League club?
Was he a game changer in the summer? No, but
he should have gone in the summer when there was people who were after him.
Yeah. Liam, question for you: has James Garner? I don't know much about. I haven't followed them obviously. So have James Garner and Onana done a lot this season?
So Garner's broke his back basically.
Oh, the young right. Nice. Okay,
so he's got some like weird curve in his spine, so he can't play until February.
Right.
So he's got like a back brace. And Onana, he's 21. Like he's raw, he's young. That's the thing. But we missed him tonight, and it proved.
Right.
Like it was a huge difference. Like at City, I'm not saying he'd run the game, but his presence was difficult.
So he's a good player. He's been decent.
He will be a very, very good player for me. I think.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry.
Yeah, I'm for it. It's fine by me, as long as we're not.
I'm thinking these are the 3 main candidates to go down.
It's going to be a big established Premier League club, isn't it, Ash? That's the scary thing, isn't it? It's going to be really mad, isn't it?
Someone who's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Is it the perpetual team, the one that's been there from the start? We just don't know. I love how much you find Gordon, and I think everybody does, to be quite honest.
The thing is, it should have been his season, shouldn't it? Because if Everton is struggling, you look to your youth talent, your academy talent, and it should have been he finally gets more game time because, like I said, Richarlison's gone. They look at somebody else to get more minutes, whatever. But he hasn't quite taken that mantle, has he? And the fans don't really seem to be enamored with him.
No, the thing is,
absolutely, it was his time to step up.
But he had this last season. So from Lampard coming in last season in January, that was his time, and he took it. He literally put us on his back because Jack's put it up there. But Gordon, he did what every Everton fan wanted him to do. He picked up the ball and ran at defenders, and that's all you wanted, just someone to run and get the crowd up. But now, because there was the rumours of Chelsea, Tottenham wanting him, he's 41. Am I too good? It might be wrong, but it might be true. But these are rumours going around that he's after 100k a week, and it's like,
no.
Yeah,
no, you do
that's
not
what I mean.
With your 3 goals in 15 games, no, thank you.
It's not like he's like putting balls into the box and creating like chances. He's one of the most frustrating players I've ever seen for Everton was Jared Deulofeu. He beat a man, but he knew how to put the ball into the box.
Yeah.
Gordon can't do either of those.
We've been linked with him, Deulofeu.
I'd have him back in a heartbeat.
Yeah. I think he's too much of a luxury player, though.
He'd have him back in a heartbeat. Who's an easy at the moment.
Yeah.
And I think under Unai Emery, he'd be very, very good.
If he can, because Emery is kind of a disciplinarian where he'll be strict, and if he doesn't do both sides of the game, he won't play. Deulofeu was good, but he was never a hard worker. I might be wrong on that.
He never had the fitness for us. That was the issue. He was very good, but then he had no gas tank. It was empty after 60, 70 minutes.
Yeah.
So most of the time he came on as a sub. But I remember the season we had Lukaku and him, you just knew all you'd have to do was look on Sky Sports. And
Ball in the box, goal.
Goal Lukaku, assist LFAU.
Yeah.
Goal Lukaku, assist LFAU. That was it.
Yeah.
You're missing that on both ends now, aren't you? Really?
Yeah.
Just a shot on time. It's fucking doing me good.
No, I didn't want to click that. I wanted to click that. Get off.
I want to say to Jack's comment as well, he's been injured all season, Jack, so give it a rest.
100 grand a week in the championships and that. He had to put the boot in. He was there again. I was going to bring up a point. Oh, yeah, I want to go back to Andy's thing.
Yeah.
Some massive games left of the FA Cup. Villa versus Leeds, Everton, Southampton. Everton, Southampton's massive.
Yeah.
Wolves, West Ham. We're going to come on to West Ham in a second. And Forest and Leicester. And Leicester as well. Not doing very well since the World Cup, are they?
Well, after we play Southampton, we've got West Ham away as well.
Oh.
And then we play Arsenal, Liverpool, and then we've got Leeds. So we've got...
because Leicester were meant to challenge, weren't they? They were meant to be that top 6 challenger that Newcastle are now, but they've dithered a bit.
They did it. They've crumbled.
Yeah, sad.
They had that little time off over the World Cup, and I think some of them are still on holiday.
Their centre-back scored 2 own goals. That white face.
Yeah,
see that?
shit college.
Awful as well. I know. My God.
I mean, the first one was a freak, but the second one,
ridiculous.
It was like it was hell of a finish.
They barely spent though, so they're victims of not investing in the team at all. They've made one signing with money, and that was that centre back.
It's one of those things, isn't it? Sort of the Mike Ashley approach. You played all right last season. You don't need any new players.
Exactly. So you have to. You can't stand still in the Premier League. You go backwards. It's been proven a million times. You have to keep on building just to stay where you are, almost. You know. So you can see where their problems have been.
So we've got Moyes on borrowed time. The Leeds defeat on Wednesday could be the end of him.
Yeah,
that is a good shout. We've got a few managers up for the chop, really. I mean, Brendan Rodgers is probably looking shaky again, but I think Moyes is teetering now, isn't he? And
I reckon there could be some inter-Premier League swaps. You know, I can see West Ham looking at Rodgers if Leicester.
West Ham looking at Rodgers. Rodgers to Everton. Lampard.
I like Rodgers. I don't know about you boys, but I know he's got his faults, and his teams don't tend to be great defensively. But I do like Rodgers. The right squad.
No, he's not one of those managers that I look at and think, "Oh God, get out of the league."
No.
Question about Leicester. Why the fuck does Daka play over Vardy? Vardy always comes on and does better than Daka. Probably because Vardy can only do about 10 minutes.
He doesn't say he hasn't got the legs anymore. He's
600-year-old. So
yeah.
Easy 3 points for Southampton and West Ham.
No, there is it though, because we said West Ham would win on the other day, and they bottled it at home, didn't they? Was it to Brentford or so? West Ham, fuck your ideas out. That's never good, though, is it?
Well, that's the case of death, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I've had that on
the last thing you always
and got sacked.
I got it last night on. I was playing FM Mobile. I got the vote of confidence. I was gone in the next match. FM Mobile this year is fucking rock. That's usually the easy version. So yeah, Leeds are capable of springing a surprise. They did it at the weekend, obviously, but they could do it against West Ham, and I'd actually be interested to see how that plays out. So I'm going to be rooting for Leeds tomorrow night.
There are 3 points separating Leicester at 13th and Nottingham Forest at 18th. So it's really all to play for. Very, very tight.
It's tight. Very tight.
I mean, I'm rooting for Leeds purely for the fact of driver at work, Eddie. Every day I've started this is at the start of the podcast. Fucking everything are going down. Blah, 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 blah. Every time. This morning comes in. He's like, everything going. I was like, sorry, Eddie, we're above you in the league. He's like, you won't be after tonight. The 4th goal went in, right? Yeah. He sent me a message straight away saying, nobody will be after Pickford anymore. So I just stay quiet until the games are finished now. I do it anyway because I know tomorrow Leeds are going to spank them.
Just hoping the karma comes back in your direction.
Yeah, it'll happen. I hope they go down.
The wheels. I'm just noticing that things are being added onto the run sheet that I didn't see. So the wheels coming off at Tottenham. Who was that one?
That was me. Obviously, I was delighted that we beat them, but that's a bad result for them, isn't it? Losing at home to
Terrible result.
That's a bad result. That, and they could easily be. I know Liverpool lost as well, but if you're putting money on it, you'd back Liverpool to finish above Tottenham, wouldn't you? If there's a team you always back to bottle it, sadly, sorry Tottenham fans, but you're good money because Tottenham mostly do. They promise so much and then deliver so little.
Conte looked sick as a Cowboys horse the other day, didn't he?
He wasn't happy, was he? He was just slagging off his team, saying we don't have better players to beat better teams. It's like, yeah, but that's your job is to sort of bridge that gap.
You've got Harry Kane and Son and Kulusevski.
Yeah, it's not terrible. Perisic as well.
And they can send Richarlison back if he wants.
That's still a strange move, that one, because he doesn't seem to like him.
No,
he doesn't. It's weird. Conte one about not being given enough money. Yeah, the irony. Everyone bangs on about Newcastle has bought the way to the top. Have they though?
I think Tottenham get a lot of stick, don't they, for not spending? But so they do spend. They just don't. They don't spend outside of their means. There's a difference. And yeah, I know they want Levy to be the one who just sanctions a $40 million deal every window, and he's not going to be that guy. But Tottenham do get decent. Yeah, he is. But Tottenham do get decent investment.
I certainly wouldn't be complaining too much if I was a Tottenham fan.
There are clubs that have it way worse than that, isn't there? That really don't use the potential.
10 years under Ashley, you know what I mean?
Oh, exactly.
That kind of thing will skew your view of football forever.
About 20 years under Ken Wright.
20
years under Ken Wright. There is one thing.
Last year was hilarious. We were shopping from like League One. We were getting League One players like Jordan Bowery because we just didn't want to sign anyone expensive. It was so bad.
That is awful, mind.
Yeah,
like that's literally just running a club into the ground for the sake of running a club into the ground.
I know, it's embarrassing.
There you go. He's weighing up 60 million for McNeil.
I'll give him a piggyback.
By his hand.
Christ. I'm still like I don't even have a car at the minute, but I'm going to hotwire one just to take Chris Wood back to Leeds. If that's true that Chris Wood Leeds want Chris Wood, I think there'll be a queue of people waiting to take him down there. Probably be a bigger queue outside Elland Road to stop him from getting in. Like,
do you reckon there'll be like loan offers in January, Ash, for him?
I don't know, because at the end of the day, we've got no one to replace him.
I was going to say,
there's no benefit in Newcastle, is there? Let him go.
We have, let's see, straight away, Andy. No thanks.
Yeah.
We've got Callum Wilson, who's made of glass, and Isak, who's made of slightly less tempered glass. So as shit as Wood is, and he is shit, he's our only fit striking option 90% of the time. So what's the matter with you?
He's entirely Everton.
Yeah, then like we've got Calvert-Lewin who's made of fucking wool.
Yeah.
I mean, but Chris Wood can only score from the penalty spot, and
he can head the ball over and the goalkeeper's hands. He's good at that.
Yeah, he's got a back passes to the opposition keeper and heading over the bar and standing still. Those are his strengths, I think. So yeah, I wouldn't be sad to see him go. No. But we need somebody in to replace him. I mean, Garang Kwal got his work permit. Because originally we signed him and the plan was to loan him out to a European club so he could get some points for his visa.
Right.
But because he appeared for Australia in the World Cup, he qualified. So we don't have to send him out now.
Yeah.
And we still will, but I'd rather we got rid of Wood and give the new kid a go.
It's finding a buyer.
He was a beast in the Championship. Maybe Everton will take him then.
Wow.
Ash has turned. He's turned, hasn't he?
Sorry.
I think he's your friend.
I was trying to just get in there before Jack because I know how much he winds you up.
So Jack asked me a question before to ask you because I know he won't ask you. So if you finish top 4, because I know Andy put it in before, I think it was. So if you finish top 4,
yeah,
are you taking Ronaldo on loan then or not?
I couldn't believe that when that came out last night.
That was funny.
I was pissing myself laughing, and I'm so glad that it's been debunked. Lee Edwards from the Telegraph came out today and said it was a load of shit, and then Eddie Howe said it tonight before kick-off. So thankfully it's a load of bollocks, because no, I wouldn't have him. I wouldn't have him for free. I wouldn't have him on loan. I can't stand the man. And if you think Gordon's ego is disruptive, fuck it hell.
I mean, at least Ronaldo's got a reason to have an ego.
True, yeah. I mean, his is backed up by stats.
Yeah.
He's so far up his own ass. He's a donut. Yeah, and I don't want him anywhere near our club.
The thing, like, managers don't even want him to be a squad player. That's how disruptive he is.
Yeah, just as a presence.
Yeah, he's that toxic in a dressing room. They have to just axe him completely.
I can't wait to see how he does over there, because obviously it's a new league essentially, isn't it? So
I think he'll be good, because he won't let himself. He won't let himself go, will he? He's obsessed with his body and his image, isn't he? Because obviously he's got all those brand deals, so he'll stay fit. He'll obviously score. He'll pass in the ball all the time. So I think he will do well. But it's just hollow, isn't it? No one really.
That's the thing. Every game's got to feel like a training match to him.
I know. I can't blame him for getting the bag, but it's so weird seeing him go there in the same time that Messi's just won the World Cup, and it's mad, isn't it? It really is mad. Yeah, the comparison.
The thing is, it's not even an annoyance to me. My only I'll say annoyance is the age difference between Messi and Ronaldo. The only reason Ronaldo's still trying to do it is because Messi's here. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like
if Messi had retired, Ronaldo would retire.
Yeah.
But I feel like if Messi was older than Ronaldo, Messi's not asked. He's like, all right, okay, you do you.
Yeah.
It's just again, it's that classiness thing that we keep talking about. Like, Messi just gets on with it, and Ronaldo just has to make everything a competition, which I suppose is in his nature as a competitor.
And it's how he elevates himself. He's like Michael Jordan, isn't he? Michael Jordan needs to create beef with everyone and everything around him in order to propel himself to the next level. And Ronaldo definitely is that petty. We know that.
Oh, for sure. And speaking of petty, had we seen the very weird meltdown on Twitter last night of Sol Campbell?
I saw a snippet because I'm in a sports group for Newcastle.
Oh no, he's
moaning about
nuts.
the MBE, isn't he?
Yeah, demanded he should have an MBE.
Yeah, I actually spoke about it.
Yeah, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, I said that Sol Campbell's obviously a plum. No doubt he's a plum. No one will disagree with that. Sol Campbell is a plum. He said some baffling things in the past, and he's a bit of a prat. The only thing is, he's right to say there are people undeserving of MBEs that have had them. That I can't argue with that. So if we're doing it on a list of, is Sol Campbell better than like Aaron Hughes to get an MBE, you'd probably say yes, I guess. But it's one of those where I'm not going to lose sleep over Sol Campbell not getting an MBE. You know?
No, he did actually. He name checked Aaron Hughes, didn't he?
I bet he did. Yeah, and there was another Northern Irish player as well. I think. I can't remember who it was, but two of them probably didn't deserve to get MBEs, and they have done.
No, not at all. Just to answer your question, Andy. Yeah, I probably would, to be honest.
Yeah, of course. But it's not over, is it? Campbell could get an MBE in 2 years' time. You know,
borderline sociopath. That's not a bad shout, actually.
He's got something going on.
I thought Emery wanted to replace Martinez with Pickford. The
rumours that we were going to sell him to United. It's like, no.
So this is the same rumour that Eddie, the West Ham fan, was kicking off with me for the past 2 days that we're selling Jordan Pickford. And when if we sell Jordan Pickford whilst we're in the midst of a relegation battle, then the club need to dissolve.
Yeah.
They're doing.
It's a bad joke. You seen him at Piers Morgan? He had to go on for not saying hello to him at the Chelsea Flower
Amazing.
That is mint. But yeah, we've got back on Sol Campbell. He listed 10 things that suggested he should have had an MBE.
Right.
And he massively contradicts himself in 2 of them. And I feel like I'm probably going to get dragged for this, being a white man, but he played the race card like 10 seconds after going on about how much he's done for anti-racism, which he has. He's always been a big proponent of it. But then the next thing is, and then I'm the first black man to do this, and I'm the first black man to do that. Well, either we're all the same, Saul.
It's also funny because Marcus Rashford got an MBE, didn't he? For
exactly. So it's not a race
it kind of kills that.
It's a not being a dick thing, mate. It's keeping your mouth shut and getting on with things.
Yeah.
But he's been like always there at the forefront. Every time he's been sacked from a job, it's because I'm black. No, it's because you're shit.
Well, he's probably already at that point now. He's becoming unlikable, isn't he, Sol Campbell?
Yeah.
Where he's not going to be taken seriously. So people aren't going to see him as a managerial option.
I've never taken Sol Campbell seriously ever since that clip on Sky Sports News when it says they go to him and go, so out of these teams here, who do you think is going to qualify? They go, France, Croatia, Portugal.
Yeah.
And they go, Spain. How have you got Spain?
It feels like he's not in the loop, is he? The football loop at all?
No. He's a horse shit manager, and that's the top and bottom of it at the end of the day. He got sacked because he wasn't very good.
Look at Dwight York, he's the same as well. He's always going, oh, Villa should come to me for advice. And it's like, what are you talking about, mate?
Why?
What are you on about? No one thinks you're like a good person or a good manager. So just what are you talking about?
I mean, obviously there's good points to be made there, but it's how you make them, isn't it? It's time and a place.
And as I say,
he gets it wrong every time.
It's not as if this is the only time. Like he could still get offered one in 5 years' time. He could end up getting a lifetime achievement award, couldn't he? For in 20 years' time. So like,
if he just keeps his gob shut.
Exactly. Yeah, keep working.
If I was in charge of giving out these awards, I'd just give one to Tony Adams just to piss him off.
Everyone around him. But
well, Tony Adams don't strictly come dancing, so.
I mean, Tony might get one. To be fair, for his work with alcoholism, it's not.
That's true.
Not far fetched.
So he wrote a book, didn't he? No, he won't, will he? Because he's fucking.
No, he needs to stop the gambling. He's still in that.
He's a definite advert for alcoholism.
Yeah, I think he's still in the midst of the addiction.
It's just pickled. That he probably hasn't had a drink for 20 years. He's still pissed. So yeah.
Sol Campbell's been a prat.
Yeah, I mean, ever since he switched Tottenham for Arsenal, he fucked himself up, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's never recovered from that. The biggest dick move in football.
But the right one, we've got to say it, haven't we?
Oh,
the right move,
without a doubt.
Yeah,
but it's not one you really come back from. And
no, it's not.
I think that's everything off the list we've got before we go on to score predictions. Unless anyone else has got any points that they've missed or additions, or if you haven't got everything off your chest about Everton.
So. I'm just literally went on Twitter. So, a fella called Chris.
I'm sorry,
Bascombe.
we're not engaging enough for you.
No, so a fella called Chris Bascombe, who's a Merseyside reporter for the Telegraph, has said Lampard is on the brink of being sacked. The club's board of directors could make a decision of his future before Friday's game. Right. Well, why Friday? What does Tuesday night, Wednesday, Thursday have the difference to do with Friday?
Yeah, you're either going to do it now.
You've made your decision or you've not. Like, there's no pussyfooting around now.
At least say after Friday's game, you've got one more game to save your job.
But the thing is, Friday's the FA Cup away at United.
Yeah.
Like, it's just stupid. And yes, Lampard picks the team and this and that, but it's the same merry-go-round for the past 4 years now, and Lampard might be at fault for some of it, but it's the same players. Well, some of the same players.
Like I said at the start, when Andy said it's Lampard's team, it's not. He inherited a load of shit, added to it. And then I quickly said probably people that are about the 5th on his wish list.
Yeah.
So it's not his fault, really.
I just don't know. It's just annoying because who do we get to replace him?
And that's
so at the moment, while she was talking, he's 1.25 to get sack on Sky Bet.
Yeah.
So it's who comes to replace him? I keep seeing Sean Dyche's face on Twitter as well, and it's just starting to annoy me.
I don't. Wow,
Is that Everton fans putting that out there, trying to manifest
I
it,
don't know, to be fair, but if that, I just don't know. I just can't be bothered.
It's the time to do it though, because if they sack him after that FA Cup game, Everton have got like an 8-day break until the next Premier League game, then a week to the next one after. Then they've got like more than a week until after that. So the new manager will only have 2 games within like 3 or 4 weeks. So they have a lot of time to sort of bed themselves in with the new squad. So it would kind of make sense to do it now, where there's not too many games to get in the way of any progression. But yeah, I don't believe it's all Lampard, but I do believe that he hasn't done a good job. I think it's fair to say they're failing, and it's him. He has to take his share of the blame. You know, he knows his team inside and out.
At the end of the day, the manager will always take the blame, and it's unfortunate for every manager that gets the sack, because at the end of the day, he can only pick a team, and it's the players that go on the pitch, and it's not tactics. Tactics don't matter if your basic knowledge of football. Like tonight, one ball went over Conor Cody's head, and he's just. But, do you know what I mean? And it's just things like that. And when you see the goals, they're just so bad. Like every single one of them.
That's the sign that confidence is so low in the team now.
So, looking at the league, so Fulham, who are 7th, 8th, 9th, whatever it is, Fulham are a decent side, and obviously it was Marco Silva. He was at Everton at the wrong time, and he just got it was bad for him. But if I'm going man for man, Everton, Fulham, I should never be comparing us to Fulham. It's embarrassing. No. But we're better than Fulham. Like, we are better than Fulham. There's no ifs or buts about it. We are better than Fulham. Player for player, we're better than Fulham. But confidence, that's the thing.
Massive. It is a confidence game.
But Lampard gets sacked, it's fine. They sack him, but it's going to cost them an arm and a leg, because to sack him, they'll sack Paul Clement, Ashley Cole, Joe Edwards, all of his backroom staff, and it's going to cost a load. I don't know who they're going to get in.
And there's no one to come in, yeah.
The issue is it's going to be someone like Sean Dyche or, God forbid, Roberto Martinez.
Oh, apparently Sam Allardyce, according to Andy and Jack. Fulham 10 years ago, maybe.
Thing is, Lampard wouldn't have got the job if it wasn't Lampard at Derby, would it? That's the thing, in Chelsea or not. It's like there's so many managers that can do a job in the Championship that will never get a sniff because their face doesn't quite fit. You know, they're not an attractive proposition.
They were the Premier League legend.
And same with Gerrard. Gerrard did well at Rangers, but he got found out in the Premier League, and now Lampard's facing the same thing, where he's probably going to get sacked from a second Premier League club now, and he's got to think, well, maybe I'm not the person I think I am. He's had some moments.
He's not even been here for 12 months though. He came on deadline day of last year.
Yeah,
like it's a joke. But
which is an odd time to make a manager.
Agreed. And obviously, Everton weren't in the best position for any manager to come in and make an impact straight away. They were going to need a lot of work. But usually, when they sack a manager, there's oftentimes stories behind the scenes, isn't there, of just all falling apart. And I think a board will forgive a bad manager or a manager that's struggling so long as the dressing room are together. But when you hear stories of infighting and whatnot, I guess they might think, well, I think we just need a change here, something just to get people, to get that honeymoon period back or something.
Well, like I said, they've been asking for the board. They've been asking for the board to be gone for the past 5 years. It's not even the board. So Mashiri's come in and he's still got Bill Kenwright still there for some reason. And I feel like if I'm going on Bill Kenwright tangent, I'll be here
sticking his oar in.
But like, there's no reason for him to be there. He has no influence on the football club at all. No reason for him to be there. He came on the screen tonight at Goodison, immediately got booed, sacked the board, The second goal went in and he disappeared.
Yeah.
That says everything.
I think we covered Duncan Ferguson last week, didn't we? It's like it's time for him to sort of cut the ties with the Everton, do you think? What was his face? Rooney's gonna get linked with a job. But why? If Rooney never played for Everton, would
a manager that was at Derby and is now at DC United ever get linked to an Everton job?
Would he even be in the frame?
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
I mean, that's not a bad show. Like. Player manager deal for Lampard.
Well,
6
Garner's
months.
not fit.
Anyway,
He might do it himself.
yeah, we'll move on to some score predictions.
Let's do it.
We've got tomorrow Southampton versus Forest. Crippy kick us off, Mara.
That's El Crapigo, isn't it? Those two. Again, I don't think either's good enough to win that, so I'm going to go 1-1.
I've gone 1-0 to Forest.
Yeah, I think it could go either way. Just anything could happen in that game.
0-0.
True. You're going 0-0?
Is that? Can you go for anything less than 0-0? Like almost like the own goal.
Yeah,
bad
we just get Wout Faisal and whack some own goals in. Have we got one from Andy? Oh man, where's my mouse pointer gone? Oh, Jack's getting in on them. He's gone with a 1-1, and Andy's gone with a 1-0 Forest because he copies my homework. I was trying to fill in your predictions as we went along, but that's just too much faff, so I'll do it after. Leeds versus West Ham. Liam, what we got?
4-0 Leeds.
Just stick it to your mate at work there, is that?
Yeah, 4-0 Leeds.
4-0 Leeds. Fair enough. You've said it now. It's going on the sheet. Crippy, are you going as adventurous?
Not as no, Ash, you know me. No, I'm not. I'll go 2-1 Leeds.
Tory Crippy.
Yeah.
I've got 1-0 Leeds.
1-0.
Jack's gone 2-2, as has Andy. Ooh.
Yeah.
Come on, Andy, put that on the line, mate.
Ellen Road under the lights. Come on.
Under the lights.
Goals galore.
Jesus.
Right then, Crippy, this is your lot. Villa versus Wolves, the old Midlands derby. What have you got, mate?
Yeah, let's go 3-1 Villa. Let's get frisky.
Confident.
Let's get frisky. Yeah.
I like
Let's get frisky.
Let's get frisky.
That is frisky for there's a 2-goal deficit there.
I could end up embarrassing myself, but yeah, I think we should put Wolves to bed. And my mate's a Wolves fan, so I would love to be able to message him and say ha.
There we go. Stick it to him. Liam, what are your thoughts?
2-0 Villa.
I've got 2-1 Villa. We have a 1-0 Villa for Andy and a 1-0 Villa from Jack. Are they copying each other's homework?
I'd say, yeah.
They're sat in his little booth, aren't they, at the docks? New besties for life. What is next? Palace versus Spurs. The old London derby. Liam?
Spurs need to respond, but I just I love Palace. I love Eze and Elise.
Me too.
Their goal on the weekend was just filth.
I love how they play football.
2-1 Palace.
2-1 Palace. Crippy.
I'll go 1-1.
See, he's not denying it. You're going 1-1. I have gone 2-1 Spurs, but you've just... I'm not sure, actually. I think I'm definitely going to go red on that next week. Although not as red as Alan. He's got 3-1 Spurs and 2-1 Spurs from Jack as well.
Bold.
Can't call him bald. That's a bit harsh.
He's got Chelsea versus Man City. This is a big one. And both of them dropped points recently. What do we think, Liam?
City 2-1.
I've got City 2-0. Crippy.
I'm going to go Chelsea to win 2-1.
Whoa, he's flipping
because
the script.
Guardiola pisses me off sometimes where it seems that he almost deliberately throws games. And I think that this will be one of those where he does something frisky and Chelsea will win. Out of nowhere. Potter's going to do a madness.
Word of the week, #frisky.
Hashtag frisky.
All right.
Yeah.
3-0 to City from Andy and a 3-1 City from Jack. But you think they're going to throw it? Interesting one.
They're a weird team, aren't they? You see them in one game when they'll score 5 and you think, yeah, City are going to run away with the league. And then they lose at home to Brentford. And you just think they're obviously every team's fallible. But City they can collapse sometimes. And they haven't quite gelled since returning from the World Cup. So I think, who knows?
Look at him slithering.
Going out of nowhere. And then it's FA Cup weekend. So there's obviously like 12 T6 fixtures. So I've just picked ours out, the ones that matter, basically. So Man United Everton. Was Frank Lampard in charge or not? We don't know because they're going to make the call an hour before kickoff.
Would he bother to name a strong team as well?
That's the thing. And will Man United name a strong team? They've got. I mean, obviously.
The thing is, a strong team is like our reserve team is literally kids.
Yeah, their reserves are still Premier League quality.
I'll just get run over, won't they? Otherwise.
Well, I've got you beating them. I've got you 1-0.
Oh.
Because I think Mandy will put a shit team out.
Have they got no Dubravka?
No, he was on the bench for us tonight, which really puts a spanner in the works. I thought we brought him back to use him as part of the deal to get Maddison, but now he's been registered at 2 clubs in one season, so that fucks that idea up. How then, Liam? What are you thinking?
3-0 United.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, that was mine.
Trippy.
Yeah, that was mine.
Yeah.
Too. Sorry,
going
Liam.
Big. Jack's going big. 5-1 United.
Jokes on you, Jack. Because when I play a fucking corner.
Fuck Man City. Man City versus Chelsea again on Sunday.
Yeah, they're playing each other twice, aren't they? In 4 days.
I didn't know that.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I might be watching it with Muzz, so yeah.
I missed Andy's. He's gone 2-0 to Man United.
And yourself, Ash.
So I'm the only one who's backed Everton. I've got them 1-0.
The thing is, that'll be the most Everton result ever because it's in a game that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then we'll get I don't know, Wimbledon in the next round and get beat.
The game live on the BBC, Sheffield versus Newcastle, and I've gone with a 2-1 because I don't think this is going to be as clear cut as we want it to be. So I've gone 2-1 Newcastle. What do you think, Crippy?
Sheffield Wednesday aren't bad, and their results have been good. They don't play good football. So I think Newcastle will pass them off the park probably because they're quite ugly to watch, Sheffield Wednesday. So I'll go 3-1. I'll go for it.
I'll take that.
I'll go for it.
Liam?
So just from your comment before about your fans being entitled, I'm going to go with a Sheffield Wednesday win.
Again, it's a thing that would the kind of thing that would happen.
Yeah.
So I'm not taking that one personally.
I'll go 2-1 Wednesday.
And especially the Oars. I think they'll let us win because we took Steve Bruce off them. so the Oars for that. So you're going with a 2-1 Sheffield?
Yeah.
Interesting. Andy's gone 3-1 Newcastle and Jack has gone 2-0 to Newcastle.
Oh, I'll tell you who's going to be linked with Everton, if he hasn't already. Michael Carrick. Just clicked.
God.
Just clicked.
I don't know, he's doing a good job at the minute.
Yeah. No, I don't think he'll leave either, but 100% he'll be linked.
It's a possibility, but I think he'll definitely stay put.
Should do.
Got Cardiff versus Leeds on Saturday as well. I have no idea how Cardiff are getting on. So I've got Leeds to take them 2-0. What do you think, Liam?
I want to feel like Andy said once that they hated going to Cardiff.
Can't hit them that much. Andy's backed them to win 2-1.
I will say Cardiff are doing awful. They're 20th. Yeah, 20th in the Championship. They haven't won.
I'll go 3-0 Leeds. 3-0 Leeds. But I don't know why I feel like he said before. Okay.
Jack's
That's very
getting
specific.
confused.
Yeah, I reckon.
It goes to a replay, doesn't it? It's the FA Cup.
I think replay first, yeah.
Yeah, so it's gone 1-1.
Get
One
with
more
the
Cardiff.
3-0 Leeds.
Replay. Yeah, 3-0.
Yeah.
You've got to back Leeds against Cardiff. Sure.
Yeah.
And the last one I've picked is Villa versus Stevenage.
We never beat Cardiff, is what he said.
We never beat Cardiff. Well then, someone's had his Weetabix. Villa versus Stevenage. Crippy, how are you going to get on?
3-1. I think we'll put in a professional performance.
Can't even get frisky against Stevenage. Come on.
Getting hashtag frisky.
I know. I've had a couple of 3-0s today, Liam, so that's all you're getting from me. I'm not going to go to 4 goals just yet. Calm it down. You boys calm it down.
4-0. 4-0.
4?
Yeah.
You are getting hashtag frisky.
It could be one of those games. I'd love it if it was.
Sorry, what was that there?
I'd love it.
We
always get one a week. So it's usually me that says it.
We have to, don't we? Liam, what did you give yours there?
4-0.
4. I have got 3-0.
Can't see Villa scoring.
Oh, I love it.
So I just want to throw in one more fixture because he's still there. So Liverpool are playing Wolves at 8 o'clock, and Jack's girlfriend bought him tickets to go and watch the game for Christmas. How cute!
Right, yeah.
So
it's just the ones where he got shafted on them.
No. So the other week he went to watch them versus Derby, and it went all the way to penalties. So this one, there's going to be a 94th minute winner from Diego Costa because he's not scored yet. It's going to be 1-0 Wolves.
Well, Andy's
Cop end.
1-0 Wolves. Crippy, do you think fucking accent?
Not a Brummie accent, Maz. You're having a laugh. Also, Maz, you talk the same as me, mate. We're from the same area. So what are you talking about? we all sound the same. From the southwest.
Yeah, I don't know. Gakpo debut on Saturday for Liverpool.
I like him. Don't know about you boys. I think I was.
Liam doesn't shame if he broke his leg on his debut.
Liam won't want him to be successful, but I think he'll be all
right. I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to back Liverpool. Against Wolves. Wolves are shit.
Yeah, they are, but.
So realistically 2-0 Wolves, but for the sake of just having to dig at Jack, 2-0 Liverpool, but for the sake of having to dig at Jack, we'll go 2-0 Wolves.
So if we're going to be realistic, Darwin Núñez is going to score 2.
He is, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I'd saved that image that Andy had sent us.
But the frying pan one.
Yeah, talk amongst yourselves while I sort that out, because it's just too good not to share.
Thing is, it is good because I was going to send it to Jack as well, but I thought actually, you know what? Oh
yeah, he's getting pelters every week, isn't he? Núñez.
Well, he deserves them, doesn't he?
He bottled a chance the other day, didn't he? That was like an open goal. There was a freeze frame, and it was like, oh my god, how did he?
How's he missed?
We twist about Chris Wood not being able to score unless it's a penalty, but Jesus Christ, we pay 80 million for him, so we win.
But don't forget, it's net spend though. Liverpool don't spend money.
No, they don't spend money, and Newcastle spend it all.
Yeah.
Me and Jack had this conversation this morning over breakfast, but.
What about the spending?
Net spend. And then I was like, but how much did you spend on Keita and Fabinho and Alisson and Diaz and Gakpo and Núñez? And he was like, yeah, we get the picture now.
Liverpool never spent that in the past. That's why they were no good. You have to invest, a certain amount to elevate yourself.
You said Liverpool there, you said breakfast, and here is Darwin Núñez cooking an egg. So bloody good. Oh, that's fantastic and a great way to end the show. We've gone over an hour again. We are absolute fucking gobshites, lot.
Chap.
Yeah, he's not got the best. Shit still beat Everton, though. Hardy. Time will tell. We'll be world class soon. Mark my word.
Said that about Jordan Ibe. Yeah.
Chad doesn't know who Jordan Ibe is.
Yeah.
Right, I think we better call it a day. It's very much past everyone's bedtime. And nobody wants to see these three faces before they go to bed.
No, they don't.
So, thanks again, gentlemen, for tuning in and getting involved in the comments. Thank you, lads, for joining me on this marvellous adventure. And if you're watching it later on, hit the likey, sharey buttons and all the subscribey things. And we will be back at 8 o'clock again next week, back at the regular time slot. And I think we might have Andy back next week. Which would be nice. So we'll catch you next week. Thank you very much. And now we've got to do that awkward thing where I hit end broadcast and it doesn't do it for 10 seconds and we have to sit there like newsreaders.
Stare at
Ciao.